Hello, everyone. This is Monday with the Mayor. I'm Joy Holt, and today we are here in Jasper with Mayor Terry Seitz. Hey, Terry.
Hi, Joy. Good to see you.
Great to see you again. A lot's happened. You've had the state of the city, which was great.
Well, you're very kind for saying that. It is something that I enjoy doing every year. I like the format of it. It's the Chamber of Commerce. They have the president of the county commission, the president of the county council, school superintendent Tracy Lori, and then me and the state of the city. And all four of those really give taxpayers and those interested a chance to really get a state of the county and the schools and the city of Jasper. And I really like that. So always very happy to participate. It went, in my opinion, it went well, and it was good. It's good information, and my style is a little bit differently, where I just kind of present some facts, some figures, and weave in things to slides that are showing. But we're very fortunate to have the city that we have. We have continue to have a significant amount of growth and quality of place, of giving people a reason to live here, stay here, move here, and also then we know that we have some challenges in society too. And we just lay it all out there and say, here's where we're at. We talk about the possibility of as you look at taxation or things like that, what we see in the horizon that may impact that. For the county, it's a jail. Excuse me. For us, it's police fire protection. It's also Midstate's corridor. So you put all that out there, and you don't shy away from it. So thank you. It was a good time. I enjoy that every year.
Okay, so you were talking about the Midstate corridor and the jail study. Can you tell us a little bit? That's coming up for this next year, correct? That wasn't mostly what the highlights were in 2017, because you gave us some highlights for 2017, what the city has done and the progress it's made. And coming up this year, you'll be focusing on the committee or the jail committee study.
Well, actually, that is the county. We'll not involve the city other than maybe in subcommittees. We utilize it, but that is a county obligation, and so we play no formal role in it, except if they call us to, just use us as stakeholders.
Okay, and so, well, moving on past the jail, since that is a county issue, you, at the end of your address, you did state a little bit that you are seeing some drug abuses here in the city, and you are calling on the people of Jasper to help out with that. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, we have a societal problem. Certainly the governor's aware of it. I think every citizen in the state of Indiana is aware of it, and it impacts our workforce. I mean, we are at 98% employment. And we know that even some of those who are gainfully employed have had some challenges in their life. We have, again, a need for a new jail. We have community correction. There are a lot of things that are in place to essentially help people become productive, and yet we constantly face some of the challenges that any other city, any other county around the state, around the nation have with opioids. And these are not always prescription. My latest studies that I've seen, 4 out of 5 people are choosing to buy or to do things from street drugs, and they're very dangerous. We made a decision recently. We have what's called gray death. Gray death is where some type of prescription medication is mixed with elephant tranquilizer called fentanyl, and even the powdery substance, which we found one time, if handled incorrectly by a first responder, a fire department member, police member, could literally get into their bloodstream and affect them. So we've made decisions to carry Narcan along. Narcan is an antidote that the ambulances have carried, but we have not. Well, we've taken that responsibility on because we want to protect our responders, our officers. And again, we acknowledge this is not something you buy your way out of. It's a people problem. We also have to continually face up to what those people, what gets them into this life to begin with. Can we help them out and ultimately get them to be productive? We're not shying away from it, but it takes a great amount of time, and it's not, again, something that dollars only will help solve. If there's any good news out of all this, it's such a situation around the country, around the state. We have a lot greater number of people looking at it for helping to find solutions far beyond the city of Jasper and Du Bois County. But it's here, and we won't shy away from it.
Okay, great. So I know you guys are working on a lot of fronts, and one of the fronts you work on is promoting the city. And so one of the things you have done, you have an electronic story map, and I'd love to hear more about that because I think it's super beneficial for the citizens.
Well, thank you. It's a story map that our engineering department, specifically our GIS technician, Jeff Warren, along with my administrative assistant, Lisa Bauer, helped to build. And it takes the projects that are in Jasper, those that have been publicly announced. There are still some that we know of that may still be forthcoming that haven't been publicly announced. And we put them into essentially a map with photographs and things that would show, and a little descriptor. And it's an electronic link that's on our current website. You'll probably be sharing it if you wish with this story or in follow-up on your social media. And it allows you, again, to understand the type of investments that are being made in Jasper. People may not know this. By my count, these projects are generally 17, 18, and 19, but they're somewhere above $200 million of investment, and that's private money, much of that. Certainly the Jasper Cultural Center is tax supported. And then we've had probably 50, 60, maybe $70 million of investments in years prior to that. So since 2012, we're probably at $300 million of projects either completed, underway, or announced publicly. And I can tell you there are more coming up.
Okay, and if anyone wants to see where that money is going, they can just access this map. You can go to jasperindiana.gov and you can select Mapping Jasper's Progress.
That is correct. And we do update that with pictures. In fact, it just reminded me we need to get out and take a couple more pictures, and we'll update them on a regular basis because these do change. You know, we just noticed over the last week, Friday, the crane to start the construction of the Marriott has arrived. The railroad track, so that used to be there on railroad ties and stuff and rock. Well, now that will all be what they call entombed. They will be in concrete. And there were people down there taking pictures over the weekend, and I love to watch that. Believe me, I watch people watching that. So it makes me happy.
That's great. That's best part of your job, I hope. Yes. All right. So also, you do a blog. And I don't know if people know this, but it's fun to read.
I think one person reads it.
Well, I read it. I enjoy it. It's nice.
Yeah, there's a blog. We do a blog every month. In fact, what is today's 18th? Oh, we got 19th. We got time. Yeah. Good, because I do at the beginning of every month. I have a blog. I do the same thing. I do a newsletter column for our employees, and often it's the same one, or I'll tweak it a little bit. But I do. It's just a communication from the mayor, and it's also found on our website under Mayor's blog. And let me just give you a little heads up. We will be we're upgrading our website. We currently have a static site and then a mobile adaptation. We're making it to where it's also going to be able to basically size to any size computer screen or to any size tablet, and you'll actually see it adjust in size. And so and we'll be changing it, freshening it up. I would suspect sometime in the second quarter of this year that will be unveiled.
Okay, great. So user-friendly.
Yes, very. It has been, but we think it's even more so. Drop-downs will be a little bit different. Photographs will be somewhat different and freshened. And again, we're behind the scenes. We can do all the same stuff that we currently do. But I do want to give credit to Lisa also for that. She spearheaded a lot of that along with Darla Blasey and in the Community Development Planning Department.
Okay, and so to finally finish this, I want to talk about the comprehensive plan because that is coming up and you have spoke a lot about that. Can you tell us a little bit what that is and why it's so important for the city?
Comprehensive plan is something that all Class 3 cities, which is what Jasper is by Indiana statute, essentially are required to do. We looked at our 2010 comprehensive plan, which was adopted before I came into office. And we found such really good guidance from the public, and the public plays a role. It's not that the mayor sat around with city council members and staff members and say, okay, what do we want to do? This is probably a 12 to 15 month process involving stakeholders, public meetings. This time there'll be a lot of online access and things like that too, and engagement. And we will hire a vendor to do this. We share in these costs between the civil city and the utility side, and while we're fulfilling a requirement, we're really creating a document for our next 10 years. And we again use our 2010 plan and have implemented so many of the things that we've worn it out. There's not a lot to do. And knowing that it takes that long, we really are now leading that. So it's very important. And again, we see this as literally the document that drives the city's future, especially in planning. And there will be a lot of things, Midstate Corridor that comes into play, that a lot of changes coming down the future. We're going to be doing our best to forecast them. But anything that the Downtown Riverfront Master Plan was recommended as another planning process from the comp plan, consideration of tax phase-in or abatements, consideration of TIF. These were all documents you do in the Unified Development Ordinance or reviewing zoning. These were all things from the comp plan. So we've checked them off the list. We've accomplished a lot. If we can do that with the one we're going to be creating with the input from the public, it will again take our city down the road in 10 years.
Okay, all right. I look forward to hearing about it and seeing what you guys decide.
All right, thank you. And I want to thank you too, Joy, for being a media member of our Jasper Citizens Academy class. Let me ask you a question. What have you learned?
I have learned so much, and I am very grateful for the invitation, and I'm so glad I took you up on it. I'm looking forward to this next meeting, which is tomorrow. And the kids, my daughter got to come with me to the arts department. Lovely, wonderful, and there's so much there for people to do. I really hope they check out your website. It's all there for them too.
You're right. Thank you. And we just want to bring a better civic understanding about what your local government does, and people just really don't know. Yeah. They really don't. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mayor. I really appreciate it. Thanks. Thank you for taking your time to be with us today too.
You're more than welcome.
Thanks. All right, that's been Monday with the Mayor here from Jasper. I'm Joy Holt.